And we back. And this time, I met this gentleman, he was walking by, and I never thought about cannabis being this way. You know, I've only thought about it as smoking and things like that. But the gentleman we have on, he's going to speak about what he does with cannabis. So without further ado, we have Jonathan Shapiro of Pot Yisroel.
Yeah.
Yisroel, right?
Yisroel.
Yes, Yisroel. Okay. And it's kosher cannabis, correct?
Yeah, I send rabbis to check facilities for their kosher status.
Okay. And what do you mean by checking for kosher status?
So any kosher product that people are consuming by eating has to have none of the ingredients on the do not fly lists. So basically what I'm doing when I go to the facilities is just make sure that all of the ingredients are in compliance, which means that all of the syrups, all of the extracts have another kosher certification on them that tells us that the products coming in are kosher and the products going out are going to be kosher with my stamp on it.
Okay.
So I'm a compliance agency, specifically in spiritual compliance.
Oh. I know a lot of people who use cannabis in their spirituality, but you're actually that. You're the one that says that it's...
Just like certain cars only take certain grades of gas, we believe as Jewish people we want to have the most pure food possible. So kosher just means that it's pure according to our standards. But all of the people that I know that keep halal and have a shellfish allergy look to a kosher organization as a sign of quality that that particular product also doesn't contain shellfish, is halal, is vegan, is all of the things that kosher are.
I never really thought about it having to be kosher, but hearing shellfish and things like that, a lot of that is in a lot of grow products.
It is.
Things like that. So
gelatin comes often from animals. Yeah. So we want to make sure that any gelatins that are being used come from kosher animals, so fish or cows. So those are the most common ones.
Okay. It's awesome that you get to be the man who, that's kosher. You deem it kosher. But you said you send rabbis out.
Yeah.
What do they do? They just check the stats of...
So the rabbis are the experts that are able to verify that everything is going according to plan.
Okay.
So once I check a facility in, and I verify that everything is kosher, and we change any recipes that we may need to, or change any of the manufacturing equipment, I send rabbis on a semi-random basis to just check in and make sure that everything is in compliance in between when we're not there.
Okay.
Because marijuana food is a low-risk food, we actually don't need to have inspector rabbis there all the time, the same as they would in maybe a plant that makes meat-based products that are not infused. So for all of the vegetarian and dairy products, we're sending rabbis to just double-check that everything on the ingredients list is the only things that are getting into the food.
That's good. And it's very important to your culture and to your spirituality that it is just that. So it's awesome. Like I said, I never really thought about it. And then when I seen you, I was talking to you a little bit, it all made sense. So yeah.
Yeah, I didn't grow up religious. So before I was religious, I used to consume cannabis in a different sense, much, much more. And now that I'm religious, I do want to make sure that myself and anybody that needs access to this for basically medical purposes, has that available. Cancer patients, people with, the whole thing.
Yeah, it's a vast array. I'm still learning with my podcast, still learning about all the ways that cannabis does help people with different ailments.
Yeah, it's unbelievable what it's actually able to accomplish. I'm not super anti-pharmaceutical industry, but I do think that people are overprescribed things that they don't actually need when maybe they had herbal medicines available, such as, we see a lot of the mushroom products, cannabis products, and then we have other extracts from teas, other ginseng, ginger. I think all those things are very valuable, and we can see a lot of medical benefit from them. And all the things that we're consuming, even if they're not cannabis, should also be marked kosher.
That's dope.
It's giving people an access point to medical cannabis.
It is, yeah. That's dope. Well, look, thank you so much for coming on the show.
Thank you so much for having me.
Yeah.
I want to wish you a lot of success, health, happiness. You should be totally calm, and everything should just be good for you and your family and all of your viewers.
Thank you, sir. I greatly appreciate it. Won't you tell them where to find you on Instagram and social media?
Yeah, you can find us on Instagram at Pot Yisroel, POTYISROEL, and it's potyisraelkoshrus.com, KASHRUS. And you can find me on Instagram, Jonathan B. Shapiro. That's my personal page. I'm happy to connect with anybody that's curious about this industry.
Right. Once again, thank you for coming on.
Thank you so much.
Yeah. And, we'll be back.
Thank you so much.